Great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
They'll drop the throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So out comes the field goal team once more. Wind at his back now in this 3rd quarter. And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs defense getting ready to roll. And 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day is ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. They go play action here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A group of Chiefs there to make the stop that time. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And a solid run down inside the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
And now here comes Kansas City, and they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
No gain, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Let's go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Now the Chiefs bring on their field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
Back to throw, surveying the field. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. you're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And they'll run it here. He finds some open field here. Cuts back. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set. Green 39.
They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think what we're seeing today, partner, is what happens when you have a really good game the previous week. You get a lot more attention from the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It looks to me like they spent a lot of time figuring out tendencies, how they get him the football, and adjusting accordingly.
Well, they've adjusted, and the numbers certainly show that. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
He's got time in the pocket. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. There we go with 2nd and 7.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see.
Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. A sea of Chiefs jerseys in there that time to make the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Colts coming out now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Finding time. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's got time. And incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Green 39. Green 39. Check 59.
Back to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 4 yards remaining now on second down. They'll look to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And now they're in the hurry up. They'll set up to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight it. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take, and the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now a handoff here to his running back. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired, and hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.